This is a Barrows hard mode guide for those who are just starting out on Barrows Brothers, or if you're struggling to get into a team. So this is for the Deluxe Barrows, the one which came out recently, last week, the 13th of November 2013, the Rise of the Six. And this guide is going to be focused on the role of Tanking Torag, which is the easiest role which you'll encounter whilst trying to kill these 6 upgraded Barrows Brothers. And this guide also includes ways to counteract some of Ahrim's and Karils' special abilities. So firstly, I'm just going to go over the gear setup and the inventory you want to be taking to the Barrows battle. Now, this is quite a high-end battle at the moment in the game due to tactics being quite unknown, but also, to be honest, it does require some good high-level weaponry in order to DPS accordingly, and also you do require a lot of defense because you are going to get comboed a heck of a lot. And quite abnormal things can happen. I'm not sure how they created this, but it's just so random at times, and you really can get comboed. So the 2 viable options at the moment are mage or range. This is because melee, yes, you can if you're just tanking all the melees on one side. However, you know, Karils and Ahrim can just jump over and just start their flame special ability, where they spin around, and I'll show you later where flames they spread their arms out and flames go around in a circle in a 360-degree motion, and that can actually KO you quite easily if you're Amelia because you can't get out of the way in time. And also it prevents you from DPSing as much. So magic, you want a Virtus 1 and Book or higher. If you're tanking Torag, you can get away with a Chaotic Staff. It really does just depend on the ability level of your team. If it's an elite team, you won't get in using a Chaotic Staff. So again, save up that money and get that Virtus 1 and Book if you want to do some high level bossing. An elite team, for example, would be a Seismic and Ascensions team. I've always said, however, Virtus teams in both Virago and Rise of the Six require even more skilled PVMers, as the lower DPS means your timing and communication will need to be even more accurate to actually gain consistent kills. And the gear I used for range, I'll go over now and show you on the screen. The range setup I use is dual Ascensions with Pernix and Ascension Bolts. Now moving on to the inventory. Now a lot of people obviously just took Super Restores, Adrenaline, Overload and Renewal when they first started out. However, it was soon realised that Saradomin Brews came in extremely handy. So Super Saradomin Brews actually came out a few months ago, and they were a new update, and not many people have really started to use them. However, I can see them coming into play extremely useful here. However, you can get away again with just normal Sara brews because the super ones are quite expensive due to the use of grapevine seeds. I think that's right anyway. But moving on to the actual inventory now setup, which you can see around here. You want to be taking Super Restore Flask. So I'll take 3 just to be safe. You can get away with just 2. Depending on if you're tanking Verok as he drains your prayer. You want 1 Adrenaline Flask, and you want 4 Sara Brew Flask 6. And I'll go into why you need these later. The main reason is so you can just sip together with a Rocktail, and you can actually have a Rocktail Brew Heal, which sounds pretty funky, and basically it actually heals you up very rapidly to actually be able to counteract or take more damage, and it actually gives you a greater healing potential to actually counteract any combo attacks. You want the Dracon's Medallion as well for fast banking. Extremely useful for this boss, as you want to be constantly fast banking. If you die, you want to bank as quick as you can so you can get back into the fight whilst you're practicing especially. And if you want to make more money per hour, again, you want to get back there faster. You also want, of course, an overload. You're going to be using probably like maybe 1 to 2 doses. 2 doses probably in a kill, per kill average, as 1 dose does last for 5 minutes. And then I take Dust Runes so I can use Earth Surge, but again, I'm not. They have no weakness, so you can probably use just air, earth, or fire. Again, I just use earth because it saves me 1 invent space, so I can get an extra food in, or totems. And again, Barrows totem. So this is what's required to actually get into the hard mode Barrows boss fight. And you can get these from doing the normal Barrows run. However, you can also buy them from the Grand Exchange for around 50 to 70k each. So just to wrap that up quickly, I'm wearing level 80 magic gear, 1 book and armor for the defense and the DPS. I'm using static gloves, level 85 gloves, which are extremely useful, very nice armor and life bonus. Rage fire boots, very useful. Arcane for the critical damage. Vampirism is extremely useful as well. And the Sign of Life, you can use once per hour. When you're not using that, you can put a sign of item protection on. And a Ring of Vigor, I just have that at the moment, but to be honest, the best setup for this really would be maybe an Onyx Ring for the critical bonus, or Seer's Ring, because you're not going to be using ultimates that much when you're in there. Okay, so on to the logistics of the battle from the role perspective of Tanking Torag. So you want to Voke at the beginning and take Torag in this situation northeast corner. And again, just make sure you don't take Torag or stand on the portal side of the wall. Stand on the wall furthest away from it, and that's because Karil's Shadow Bomb attack can actually go through the portal, so you don't want to get caught with that. You want to use Anticipate straight away and use the basics and an Adrenaline Potion to get up to an ultimate ability. In this situation, obviously there's bomb attack, but you want to be using that DPS on Karils if he wasn't bombing. But in other situations, just focus on Torag. Depending on what the rotation is, you may need to run away or you may get pummeled to the ground. So again, just play it by ear, and I'll explain what these abilities are afterwards. If Karil or Ahrim, if one of these brothers are on your side, you should attack them when you are able to, as you will have plenty of time to actually deal damage to the brother you're tanking in this situation, Torag. If you have Guthans on your side too, and you're speared, you should Voke Guthans so he spears you and your teammate Vokes back. Or a better method is to actually use an item of food on Guthans, and this will take you towards him, and you'll take the spear out, dealing you 1k damage. Or your teammate can actually bring Guthans to you as well, but be wary of their spinning abilities. Now, a few additional notes just to take into consideration before I go into Torag's special abilities. You want to keep away from this lightning, purple lightning, which goes across the map vertically from north to south or south to north in the exact same line. And again, this is from Ahrim's attack, and you can easily dodge this, but it can deal you damage if you follow it. Or you can just stand still. Again, you know, it's not going to damage you much. Also, watch out for these domes cast by Ahrim. These domes can actually heal the brother, so keep them away from them. And also, the dark purple ones can definitely damage you as well, so just stay near the wall. Now, things to look out for regarding Torag's special abilities. His spinning attack is deadly, so you just want to surge to the other side of the room, preferably the corner, to dodge, then focus DPS on another boss until he's within your proximity to attack again. Although be aware of a Shadow Bomb attack from Karil at the same time. His second special ability is parkour jumping off the wall, which actually looks brilliant, and this can hit between 1.6 to 2.5k damage depending on how close you are to him, or 0 if you move in time. Derek also has the same ability, and you can actually see me here dodge the attack and receive 0 damage. Okay, so now on to the third special ability, the most annoying ability, probably one of the most, to be honest, in the entire Barrows collation of abilities. And Torag will pummel you into the ground, as you can see here, and now this is why it's a very dangerous moment for you and your team, and is why at all times possible you need to try and be attacking Torag in a corner due to Karil's Shadow Bomb attack, which can actually KO you, and it seems to hit up to around 6 to 6.8k if you're actually right next to it. And this damage decreases as you are further away, finally to 0 when you're out of its proximity. From my knowledge, the timing of Torag's pummel attack is completely random. When you're pummeled, your duo partner needs to be preferably behind Torag, and then he or she needs to DPS into his back. This will release you from Taros' wrath much quicker. If unable to get behind Torag, he or she needs to DPS Torag with the threshold ability ASAP. A scenario you may get yourselves into is the following. Torag may pin you down whilst Karil launches a Shadow Bomb attack, and therefore the importance of being in a corner comes into play. If your teammate can't get to you because of the bomb, then you need to tank that bomb. Sour brews are very handy here, as you can sip a brew to heal every so often to stay full life points. Your teammate then will need to recover you by the method I mentioned earlier. In that situation, you have two options. Your teammate could DPS Torag and both get bombed, and you could both get bombed by Karil, but you are recovered faster and you can both go to safety, ready for the next bomb attack. Or the person tanking Torag stays and takes the bomb hit alone, risking having to take 2 bomb attacks. This is a split-second decision you need to be able to make with your teammate, and it can depend on how many bomb attacks there have been in a row. Karil's special ability results in 3 consecutive Shadow Bombs, and so you can work out with your teammate what the best decision is to make. The variables that can influence that decision are the amount of food you have left and how many bombs there have been consecutively. I hope this walkthrough helps you in tanking Torag and other Barrows brothers which are melee, and actually aids you in helping you support your team through the Rise of the 6 Hardmode Barrows battle. There are many more attacks from other brothers and rotations to cover off, which I will in future videos. Subscribe for future walkthroughs of different roles that you will be carrying out in this battle, and let me know what role perspective you would like to see as a walkthrough. I'm thinking of doing Darok's next. In terms of his special abilities, he has a few interesting ones, one which is similar to Torag as well. I'd also like any feedback in the comment section below, or send me a message to tell me how this guide went for you, what bits of it you like the most so I can improve my guides in the future. And also just I'd love to see comments in the sections below, because I can reply to those. We can start a discussion around this. Let me know how you're getting on at Barrows, and also if you want to check out a full successful kill, I have got one of those uploaded already on my channel, so go and check that out. I'll see you in the next video, guys, and again, thanks for watching.